Next up is Mr. John Westman, followed by Sam Spinello. You're Mr. Westman.
John, you're up.
John, you're up. Welcome, Mr. Westman.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was angry this morning. I'm not angry anymore because my heart doctor told me that this isn't worth dying over. And I agree with him. So I'm going to lay a couple things out, and I need more than 3 minutes. You going to give it to me or not?
Give me more than 3 minutes. What do
Yeah,
you want to say?
okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to start by taking a couple of facts. The fact is that the Kimpton Hotel started out at 191 rooms and 30 feet longer than it currently is. When I looked at it on the 3D model, I made the decision that it was overpowering. It was the same setback that the old Bank of America was, which was 12 feet off of the curb of Tockwitz. If you guys have already forgotten, I will tell you, I have the plans. It was set back 19 feet off of Palm Canyon. It was 44 feet high. It was a really ugly building. That being said, we took we didn't follow the specific plan, but the specific plan, if you want to really look at it, shows a building 60 foot high on that corner. We did not build that. We didn't want to build that. We wanted some open space there. So we talked to the city about moving the open space and adding 25,000 feet of open space on Block A that Mr. Roberts has been so involved in, okay, that he thinks is good. He thinks some things are good. He thinks other things are horrible. The second thing that we did, we moved the hotel back 28 feet off the curb. So now it is the high part, because we stepped the hotel back also. If you really look at what's being built there, the first 2 floors are about 30 feet off the curb now instead of 12 feet. The rest of the floors are 45 feet off the curb. So we increased the view quarters on Tockwitz by at least 20 to 25 feet at the ground floor and 35 feet up above or 40 feet up above. So don't tell me, I don't want to hear anything more about these view quarters. There was never any view quarters. The view quarter right now on Main Street is 75 feet wide, all right? It is just as wide as Palm Canyon. Go out and measure it from building to building yourself, all right? 75 feet wide. We never had Andreas going through. It was never on the plan. We were going to do a 1-story building there, like our mayor said, that we hoodwinkled the city about. We actually asked the city if we could change the general plan or add an amendment to it where we could actually do a remodel plan that I think that Mr. Mills or Mr. Genie Fote would tell you that the city gave us the opportunity to try to do that. We spent $300,000 on plans to do that and couldn't get not one tenant even wanting to look at it, all right? Because the ceilings inside were 12 to 14 foot high. Regardless of what this lady that was up here telling you, that the national tenants don't want high ceilings. They were in a 2-story building there. Did she walk in there? Did she see how high those ceilings were? They wanted a minimum 16 feet. Well, guess what? Above the 16 feet, you have steel beams that are 30 inches deep, and then you have air conditioning ductwork that has to go underneath that. So we just barely made their requirements on that building. Now, like the president did last night, he did something. I wasn't exactly an Obama fan, but I really respected the speech he made last night because he was willing to own up to a mistake he made. The mistake he made was he did not communicate like he said he was with the Republicans, and that Washington is now more divisive than it ever was, okay? That's what's happening to this town, all right? Now, I will own up to a mistake. Block A, that is 53 feet tall. When I talked to the council, when we had a 1-story building, there was a lot of heartache about a 1-story building, 24 feet high, next to a 70-foot high concrete wall, 200 feet long, measured it myself just to make sure I'm totally accurate, with no doors or windows in it except for that one opening in the back. If that's what you want to look at, that's fine, all right? Have at it. I don't think it looks very good. I don't think that that is conducive to a good-looking building. But I will say this, that if I had to do it over, but the architects went and built that building on the existing 12-inch concrete block wall that supports the underground parking structure exactly where the other building stood. The difference was the other building was 24 feet, so it really wasn't in your face. I think this building is in my face a little bit, okay? And if I had to do it over again, I would move that building back or 10 or 15 feet. I would do that, all right? If I had to do it over again, I would do that. I'm willing to own up to that, all right?
How could you make that mistake?
Maybe 3 more minutes?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, so you've had 6, so maybe 3 more.
The next thing I'm going to tell you is that we have a 90,000 square foot building sitting on Block A. We had a gentleman get up here and tell me that we should be looking at the performance deed of trust and take the property away from me. Well, let me tell you something. I have met all of my requirements. My friend, Frank, has actually helped me out. We were supposed to have this project done by the summer of 15. The city put us under a horrible time schedule, okay? And that's why some of the mistakes that we made on A are there, because of the time schedule that we had to perform in. We didn't have any time to go back and look at it. We either had to build it or we would have been in default of our performance deed of trust. So we built it. And we're also building the hotel. And we're also building the retail stores. I hope they don't walk away from us, but I probably blew H&M today too. I probably did, all right? They're a good retailer, all right? But I cut the building down because I don't want Frank suing me, all right? I don't want him suing me because the building got raised up 4 feet. So I said, fine, leave everything alone. I do not want to build any more housing, Mr. Roberts. So I killed the housing on that project, okay? I'm not going to build housing there. I'm not going to build housing anywhere, JR, because it doesn't make economic, financial sense to build housing in that kind of environment right now. It might in 5 years, it might in 10 years, but right now, we would lose money on that. Michael is really mad at me. Michael doesn't want me to be up here speaking, okay? He says, John, don't blow it. Well, I am blowing it because I'm finished. I've had it, okay? So I will tell you, I will kill that 90,000 square foot building. And actually, I think it's a good thing that I do kill it. You probably should agree with me to kill it, because that 60-foot high building is out just as close to the highway as the A building is. So kill it. Just sign off my performance deed of trust. I'll build the single-story buildings there. I'll leave that in a little grassy pad for you for now. You sign off my performance deed of trust, and I will kill that 90,000 square foot building. I don't give a damn what you do with a Virgin Park, whatever you call it. That's a huge risk for me, okay? Huge. You don't want that? Fine. We don't build it, okay? We will have 4 or 5 vacant pads, probably for quite a while, but that's just the way it's going to be. I did want to finish up Palm Canyon. You know, Frank has sued us on Block B. It's a 2-story building, 35 to 37 feet high. We're sued. We've been stopped for a year and a half. So the performance deed of trust keeps getting pushed out farther and farther. But that's just the way it is, okay? So that's where we are. Thank you very much. I won't be in to talk to you anymore.
Thank you, Mr. Westman.